Alright, today we're going to be doing a nice deep cleaning process. It's going to involve taking apart literally everything in your arrows. The frame, the sensors, brackets, all that good stuff. These are a pain in the ass to get off, I know. Sometimes they're just wedged up in there against the outside brackets. So you gotta loosen those. I hate when this shit happens. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright. Now, let's get this arrow up. Yeah, I know it looks pretty clean, but I like my shit really clean. Yeah, as you see, I've got electrical tape around the four corners to protect them against these bracket holders, or arrow holders, whatever you want to call them. They're real reliable, but they also add a slight spongy feel. Now when you tighten down these internal components, like this holder for the light, you're going to want to do that by hand. Otherwise you're going to over-torque them, and that is going to be a very, very big no-no. You'll strip the screws and you'll never get it out again. Assuming I can get it out at all. Not sure what it's getting caught on. There we go. Alright. Now these could be filled up with debris or dirt or dust, and that could just have them not seat the screwdriver in properly. So make sure that your screwdriver's in right before you try to get them up. Otherwise you're just going to strip that screw, and yeah, there's no drilling these out. It's also a good opportunity to clean out those screws while you're at it. Since this is kind of a pain in the ass to do, I say just do one arrow every day, and you will be done in no time at all. Because one arrow a day is not shit. But going through and sitting and doing this over a 5-hour period is quite the different story. Now, depending on how your sensors are calibrated with the L brackets, you're going to want to keep in mind which ones of these go where, because you could have changed the thickness of your little foam there, or rubber in my case. I use a high density rubber since it gives a better instant tap when you hit the arrow, more like the modern pads do. And if you switch those around and put them on a different sensor, or move the L bracket, if you move the L frame around, then you know you're gonna have everything off balance and uneven. You're gonna have stuck notes and all kinds of crap. So just keep in mind where those go and don't mix them up. That goes for the frame itself as well. And as you notice, I'm using a normal screwdriver because I can't fit power tools down here. That's what I hate about the center arrow. It's that 11 by 11 like the Dance Dance Revolution and In the Groove arrows. And yes, I'm sure someone out there is going to say, oh, you should just unhook the sensors, blah, 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 and leave them in there. Nope, ain't doing that. All my sensors are very, very, very precisely calibrated. And if I switch them around and unhook them and all that, then that's just going to be more shit to deal with later. So, I'm just going to unhook all 4 of these. And before I lift it up, ah shit, where did that knife go? I just had it. Huh. There it is. Now, you're going to want to take a knife and just slide it on through here to gouge out any locked-in dirt. That way when you pull the frame out and shake it out, it'll all just come right up. Be careful not to pierce your sensor or the sensor holder, or cut any wires. Alright, now we just pull the whole of course. Let's try to approach from as wide of a surface area as you can at once. That way you lift it away instead of tearing it like I just did. There. Okay, all 4 sensors are freed from the frame. Voila. Just going to tilt that up. You're just going to want to lay this face down. Smack, smack, smack. Don't lose those screws that are coming out of there. Whole shit ton of dirt coming out. Not too shabby, but I want it even cleaner. Windex fucking saves your life with dance pads. Can do everything from clean the pads to giving you a lot of grip if they're slipping. And it smells very pleasant. And it's delicate enough to actually clean the surface of the sensors without eating up that rubber. Oh. Almost forgot. Now that this is open, you're going to want to just lay the wiring out to the side and get in there and just clean it down. Get as much dirt as you can out of here, because that dirt sits there, pockets on the paint, and that lets any type of moisture or anything really just collect there on it, and it can cause rust. You do not want rust. It plagues these poor dance pads no matter where you go. If your dance pad is over 6 years old, it's going to have rust, unless it's cleaned out all the time. Seems like the magic number for these is 6. 6 years, replace. 6 years, new cab comes out. With excluding the Pro Series TX cabinets. I don't know, it could have came out first for Pro or Fiesta. I just know they were advertised first for Pro. Alright, it's looking pretty good. Let's take that frame and seat it back in just where it was. So you can tell I screwed up on that one up there. So it's pretty easy to tell which one goes where. Make sure you don't pinch your wires. Feed those back through. Try to get those to hook up to their original order, because each one of these is going to show up in the service menu which sensor is which. So if you mix those up, it's going to drive you insane. Oh yeah, I left the screws over here when I flipped it over. I believe this is called the L frame. I can't recall at the moment, but if it is, you should be able to contact any dealer or distributor and actually get the new frames for the CX cabinets. That way you can have bracketless arrows. I've actually thought about that, but it can add up quite a lot. You get into $120 to replace all of the frames for all of the arrows on the pad, and then you have to spend another $50 or $60 for a full set of arrows and hope that they send you the correct ones instead of just going, oh well, I see you have a GX, so we were able to pull through and get you the old arrows. It's like, no. Try to coax these in a little bit at a time on each side. Don't use a power tool for this. You have to be able to feel how it's going in there. Speaking of that, that looks a little bit uneven, so let's check this. Oh no, that seat's okay. Damn it. Yeah, before you put everything back in, always check and make sure that your brackets are going to sit properly. What am I forgetting? This one? Yeah, there we go. Alright, there. Now we're going to move on to the L brackets. Just put them back in how they were. you're going to want to make sure that the plastic with the little nubs sticking out is on the inside, because those nubs are what keep a gap around the frame, the L frame or L bracket, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That way it can slide up and down. If you put them on backwards, your brackets aren't going to slide, and that's going to be a problem, because the moment you step down, your arrow is going to be stuck forever. Or until you pull it back up. And yes, I highly recommend you put everything in and take everything out in the order that I did. Otherwise, you're going to run into complications. Alright, and this is being a pain. So, yeah. Why won't you go in? Oh, of course. Now, since this is the center arrow, you can take this time to decide if you want to put on all of the L brackets now, or if you want to try to fit the holder for the light back into there now. Because it is a tight fit, and I just don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. Damn it. Random hairs. For the purpose of not being a hypocrite with what I just said a minute ago, I'm going to just do it like this. Put them all in now. If it comes to backfire, then look at that guy, he's an idiot. If it doesn't, sweet. I won't make a fool of myself. Man, people are noisy. It's coming from the guy playing dance games and using power tools. bitch to fit in there. But seems to slide just fine. Now, I'm going to take this chance to clean this up. Just got to be delicate with it. Otherwise you could break that CFL there. Yeah, I'm sick. Okay. Now, since the yellow wire is there on this side, we're going to want to look for the hole, which is right there. Let's see. Yeah. And you're going to want to have that hole on the same side as that yellow and white wire. That way it fits through there easily. And try to pull these sensor connectors out. That way they don't get caught like they did before. There. Alright, see, I'm not a hypocrite. It fit in there just fine. Cool. Okay. Now we're going to want to take these and torque them back down. Don't just play cat and mouse like I do. Otherwise you'll scratch up the frame. I've just done this so damn much that I kind of have an idea of where the holes are. Alright, now that's nice and secure. Now we can lay the wire. Nope, wait, first, gotta hook up the light again. I just try to do a little loop in there, that way the wire's not flopping around if you move the dance pads. Now, we're going to want to hook up these sensors as we go and lay them all down there. First one's going to be the one closest to me on the left side. And you're going to want to make sure that this is stuck down on there. Otherwise you have the risk of this wire coming up and getting caught between the arrow and the L bracket and cutting the wire. Honestly, after I get it down there, I just feed them into these little holes down here. If I've got enough room. See, like that, I've got an extra inch or two. So after I secure the wire, I can just feed it back in there and never have to worry again. There's two sensors down, nice and tucked away. Next sensor, and snapped in there good. This is the one I kind of tore up a little bit. If it doesn't stick down, I can just, I don't know, I'll just feed it through the hole anyway. That should protect it somewhat. And yeah, that didn't go so bad. A lot better than expected. And then we have the last sensor. Connect it. Try to feed it downward tightly. That way it's not going to flop around. Once that's in there, just feed it into one of these little holes so it's out of the way. And there. There. Nice, perfectly cleaned sensor. Now, we got dirt that I want to get rid of. So, a little Windex. It's not going to eat up the acrylic. It's not alcohol based. And then just give it a gentle swipe. I could replace the tape if I wanted to as well right now, but no, it's fine. It's not worn through and it's not digging into the acrylic yet. So, never noticed that before, but there's a spot in the paint. It's not on this side, so it has to be factory designed flaw. There's a slight one over here. Doubt you can see it from the glare. The only problem with doing stuff like this is my foot is asleep, and this is gonna suck. And this is really gonna suck. Hell, not my foot, my whole damn leg. Okay, now before you do this, let's get these. Oh wow, yeah, those fit much better in there now that the sensor frame has been aligned again. With that in mind, it might actually be better for you to line up all of these sensors, you know, based on the center one. That way you don't have any stuck brackets or L brackets or anything. Just take your time, get them all lined up before you lock them down, and it will fit like a dream whenever you gotta pull this up next. The only problem with using these little attachments instead of actually just seating it in there is they pop out whenever you try to lift them after torquing it. Right now this is torqued to, looks like, I don't know if that's 9 or 90, but it's good. Another beautiful arrow, nice and clean and taken care of.